This week, we watch as the horror of the conflict comes in full view. The normalization of war crimes, of massacre, of murder, has sadly blinded many to the consequences of the conflict. But here, it becomes unavoidable. Any sane person watches as criminals of the highest degree become recognized to fulfill the goals of politicians of hundreds of miles away. St. Louis calling. The retaliatory campaign of Sterling Price has failed in its goal of striking the city, but he hasn't given up yet. The former governor relinquishes any hope of conquering the state he once led, but he is more than willing to burn it down. He moves westward and gets ready to destroy Jefferson City, so maybe some good will come out of this. Keeping their track of disappointment, they only burn the infrastructure, and enter the city as liberators. Immediately, their fragile image is destroyed as Bloody Bill Anderson, fresh from a massacre, arrives ready to execute more prisoners and wearing scalps. Price turns Bill away until he removes the reminders of his crimes. He needs men. Swallowing his pride, he accepts Anderson, recognizing the man. Anderson keeps up the presentation of a reformed raider until he is left to his own devices, whereupon a raid executed a prisoner without trial. Here is your uprising in Missouri. Damn the state. I wish I had never seen it. The men of Price spread out, bringing a level of terror to the state not seen in years. Some flocked to their side, showing their Confederate colors. Many simply cowered as victims. But even more showed that the state of Missouri is not the end of the United States, but its gateway. Turning to the valley, the Hussar Custer secures another victory. The 9th, he engaged the enemy at Tom's Brook, destroying the hope of his opponents.
That's General Custer, the Yanks are so proud of, and I intend to give him the best whipping today that he ever got.
The Confederate cavalry are outnumbered, outgunned, and outmaneuvered. The valley has seen the rebel infantry that once dominated the Shenandoah broken. Now the cavalry, the prize of the rebellion, escorted by Jeb Stuart, has been brought to heel. General Hood continues his march north, engaging Federal forces on the 10th and 13th, serving as small morale boost to his men after their defeat at Atlanta, Georgia. They have yet to face a real foe. On that, where is Sherman? The 11th, the soldiers of Sherman, have returned to their home, Indiana. At the president's behest, these men were released to participate in their gubernatorial election, and it ends in a Republican victory, allowing for the continuation of Oliver P. Morton's leadership. The 12th, the citizens of Maryland accept their new constitution, ending slavery and further reinforcing its ties to the Union. Just as the bells ring signaling freedom in Maryland, death comes for Chief Justice Roger Taney, second longest serving Chief Justice in history. The man who oversaw Dred Scott, who has redefined the judicial branch, has left this earth. The current administration makes no comment. His death goes surprisingly unnoticed, and as for now, his legacy politely forgotten. 13th, Darbytown Road. Virginia is assaulted by brigades from the 10th Corps and is repulsed. Northward in Virginia, rebel raider Mosby and his Gray Ghost rob the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad at Harper's Ferry, passenger train. Just add that war crime to the list. 114 to 120. That's the prediction of Copperhead to Union electoral votes. Well, that's a change. Lincoln is ahead, but it's a narrow margin. He needs the soldiers home come November, or he will be unemployed come March. Sickles time, and we can continue our political conversation. His party has turned against him. Tammany Hall, the Democratic center of New York, is organizing for the Jacksonian ticket. And Sickles' old friend Belmont is fundraising for old Mac. Boss Tweed, the master manipulator, is backing McClellan. When Sickles looks to those he once supported, Franklin Pierce is exhausting himself to support the Democrats. No Lord Fillmore working with Pierce hand in hand. And Buchanan, despite hating the party's platform, prefers even treason to another 4 years of Lincoln, while pretending that the party has not become the party of succession. That's where the week ends. With the presidential election 3 weeks away, let's focus on Taney. 28 years. He led the highest court in the land, adapted judicial power for a quickly growing nation. He took power away from federal banks, federal power, created a way for policing, worked on naval law, decided on questions of habeas corpus. But let's be honest, we know him for one decision. In 1857, Taney oversaw the worst decision in court history, Dred Scott v. Stanford.
We think that they, black people, are not included and were not intended to be included under the word citizens in the Constitution.
Despite years of rulings, I can't help but agree that this is his legacy. A landmark decision, one meant to solve an issue that seemed to divide a nation, split it apart. A decision that will be reflected by a new system. With Taney's passing ends the last hold the old Jacksonians had, and with it, the legacy of Lincoln begins. Hi, it's the entire Civil War Week by Week team here, and I would just like to thank every single one of you guys for watching. After the last video and the Project Home coming before it and the video before that, I've seen a lot of support, and I just want to thank every single one of you guys for sticking around. Look at the numbers, I can tell people going back to school has really decreased viewership, and it's still an honor just knowing that you guys will spend your free time listening to me talk about, well, the Civil War, throwing in my attempts at comedy and my research. It really means a lot. Thank you. I hope to see you next week.